All right, guys, you made it. Day 7 of our 7-day beginners yoga journey. If you have participated in the 7 days, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments how you have felt over these 7 days. What has come up for you? Have you enjoyed it? Like this might be a new, different way for you to move your body. I want to hear how it went for you. So hit me up in the comments. I want to hear all the goss. Let me know how you've got on. And yeah, let's begin day 7 of our yoga journey. So we're going to begin seated today on our heels. So our heels are coming together and we're sitting back on our heels, lengthening up through the spine. If this is feeling like a lot for you today, you might take your block and pop it in between your feet so you can sit on that. But lengthening up till the spine, through the spine when you've got there. Dropping those shoulders down away from the ears as always. And gently just lowering the gaze or closing the eyes and allowing yourself this moment to connect in. Welcoming yourself into the space, onto your mat, and into your yoga practice. Now as you inhale, we're going to reach those arms out and up overhead. And then exhale, taking the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, coming into a twist. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, moving to the opposite side. So coming through some really fluid movement here, moving with your breath. So inhale lifts you up and exhale sends you in. On your next one, we're going to hold it. So holding to the right side, finding that length, looking out over that right shoulder. Coming back through center on an inhale and exhaling to the opposite side. And coming back through center. Bringing the hands down to the mat, walking those knees as wide as the mat and sinking down into your child's pose. So knowing, as always, child's pose is always an option for you to come back to. When we come into down dogs, you could come to child's pose, or just whenever you're feeling like you need this space, come here. Then walking the hands back, bringing the knees in under the hips, lifting up, coming into your tabletop position. From here, we're going to tuck those right toes, send that leg back and lift it up in line with the hip. Taking the right arm forward. And today we're going to exhale, bend the elbow and the knee, bringing them towards one another. Inhale, reach it long, find length, and exhale, rounding in. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, bring it in. 2 more times. Last one. Before lengthening it out, holding here. And then dropping the hand, dropping the knee. Left toes go back, lifting up, right arm forward. On an exhale, knee and elbow come to meet. Inhale, reach. Exhale in. Inhale, find length. And exhale, round through the spine. And then taking it out, holding here a moment. Before releasing the hand, releasing the knee. Walk the hands forward to handprint, tuck those toes, lift your hips for down dog. Walk it out, first downward dog of the day. Move those hips, little move the legs. Before finding some stillness. Bend the knees, look between the hands, and we're going to step forward. Find that half lift. exhale, fold over the legs, grounding down into those feet, reaching those arms up overhead, and exhale your hands to your heart center. Ground down into your feet, lifting up tall through the legs, tailbones tilted towards the front of the mat ever so slightly. Core is activated, shoulders down away from the ears, palms face forward for mountain pose. On an inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Find your half lift on an inhale. Then plant the hands and step back to plank. Always an option to come to the knees here, but see if you can hold just for a breath. Then everyone dropping the knees to the mat, lowering the chest and the chin down, sliding through for your baby cobra, and exhale, lower down. Lifting the hips up, tucking those toes, and then coming back into your down dog. Breathing here. Anchoring in. Bend the knees, look between the hands and step forward. As many steps as you need here. Inhale, half lift, long through the spine, and then exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhale your hands to heart center. Coming back to your Tadasana. On your next inhale, sweep those arms up, reach them overhead, and exhale, fold forward. Find that half lift, lengthen through the spine. Plant the hands and step back through plank. Knees up or down. Holding here. Then lowering the knees, chest and chin to the mat before sliding through for your baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Lifting the hips, tucking the toes, and sinking back to your down dog. Inhale, bend the knees and step forward. Finding your half lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Come back to your Tadasana, firmly grounded. This time as we inhale, we're going to bend through the knees, sink the hips back, sweep our fingertips on the mat, and lift our chest up for chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Lift up halfway on your inhale. Then plant your hands and step your right leg back. Lower that right heel to the mat, taking the foot at about a 45-degree angle. And inhale, lifting up for Warrior One. So in Warrior One, our hips are facing that short side of our mat. Our left knee is over our left ankle. Breathing here. If it feels like a little much to have that right heel down, then you can come up onto the toes in a high lunge, but whatever feels good for you here. You can walk that back foot in a little bit, just play with this, find what feels good for you. Exhale, taking the hands down to the mat and stepping back into your plank. Hold for a breath. Then lower the knees, chest and chin to the mat. This time we're going to push forward and come through into a higher cobra. Open through the chest. Sending the hips back, tucking the toes, lifting up for your down dog. Right leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, stepping that right foot forward, using your hand to help if you need. Dropping that back heel to the mat, lifting up for your Warrior One on the other side. So again, right knee over right ankle, hips are tracking towards that short side of the mat. If you need to, then you can lift that back heel, coming into a lunge instead of the warrior. Whatever feels good for you here. Adapt and modify to suit your body's needs on the day. Lowering the hands to the mat, stepping that back foot forward, find your half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Bending into the knees, sweeping those fingertips on the floor as you lift up for chair. And exhale for your Tadasana. Hands coming down beside you. Breathe in here. Inhale, sweep those fingertips, lifting up for your chair pose. Drop those shoulders down away from the ears, tilting that tailbone under ever so slightly. Folding forward as you exhale. Inhale, find that half lift. And then plant the hands and step the left foot back. Drop that left heel to the mat. Inhale, lift up for your warrior one. This time we're going to add on. So we're going to come up onto those toes, coming through a high lunge for a breath. Before dropping that back foot parallel to the short side of the mat and taking that front heel and intersecting that back foot for your warrior two. So our right knee is over our right ankle. Arms are coming out to a T, gaze coming out over those right fingers. On your next exhale, dropping that right elbow towards the right knee, left arm overhead. Inhale lifts you up, and exhale, drop that left hand down, reaching the right arm overhead for reverse warrior. Inhale lifts you up, back into your warrior two. That front knee is staying over that ankle the whole time here. Circling the arms to the mat and stepping back for your plank position. Lowering the knees, chest and chin to the mat. Slide through for your cobra. And exhale, sending the hips back and up for down dog. Left leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, step it between the hands. Lowering that back foot, lifting up for warrior one. So checking your alignment, hips tracking towards the short side of the mat. Shoulders down away from the ears, left knee over left ankle. Now lifting up onto those back toes so you can come through your high lunge. And on your next exhale, dropping that back foot, making it short, parallel to the short side of the mat. Arms coming to a T for your warrior two. Gaze coming out over the left middle finger. Leaning forward, taking the left elbow to the left knee, reaching the right arm overhead for side angle. An inhale lifts you up, and an exhale reverses your warrior. Left hand reaching overhead, right hand down the right leg. Inhale through center. And then exhale, circle the hands to the mat. Step back through your plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Push through to find your cobra. And exhale back to your down dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands and step forward. Find your half lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Bending the knees, lifting up for chair. And then exhale, coming to stand. Breathing here in your Tadasana. Hands come down beside you, palms faced out. Feeling strong in your mountain pose. Appreciating your body for all the work it has done for you today and this week. On your next inhale, reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Find your half lift, lengthen through that spine before planting the hands and stepping back to your plank. Lower the knees, chest and chin to the mat. Push through for cobra, open up through that chest, and exhale back to your down dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands and step forward, coming to sit. Bringing the soles of the feet together in front of you for butterfly position. So your feet are coming together. Your knees are dropping open to the side. They don't have to be super close to your groin, they can be further out. But taking your hands around your ankle and just allowing your legs to flap like butterfly wings. Getting a little movement in there. And then when you're ready, finding some stillness, finding some length through the spine, and we're going to exhale, fold forward, keeping that length in the spine as you do. So it's not about how far down you can go, but about keeping that spine nice and long. Sometimes we will fold forward over our feet and we can have a rounded spine, but today the aim is to keep length. An inhale lifts you up, taking the hands to the outside of the knees and bringing the knees towards one another. Lowering down onto your back and taking the right ankle and crossing it just past the left knee. So same idea as we did yesterday, like thread the needle, but this time we're going to be doing it on our back. So walking that left foot in a little closer towards you. If here feels like enough for you today, stay here. If you want to go a little deeper, you're going to take your right hand between the legs, your left hand to the outside of the left leg, bringing the knees in towards you and taking your hands behind that left knee, breathing here. Now releasing the clasp of the hands, bringing the hands out to a T, and you can either leave your legs in this position or you can cross your right leg over the left and just drop those knees to the left side of the mat. Taking your gaze out over the right shoulder. Coming back through center on an inhale, uncrossing the legs, putting that right foot on the mat, bringing that left ankle just past the right knee. Walking that right foot in a little closer. Now staying here if here feels good, or taking that left hand through the legs, right hand to the outside of the right leg, hands coming behind that right knee, and bringing the knees in towards the chest. Some days this pose feels so strong and others it feels like a little less, just depending on what I've been doing through the day. So just acknowledging how it's feeling for you today. Releasing the hands, crossing that left leg over the right and dropping the legs towards the right side. Gaze coming out over that left shoulder. Coming back through center on an inhale, uncrossing the legs. And then releasing the legs out long, allowing the feet to drop open, arms come down beside you in your Shavasana, letting go and simply being. Beginning to lengthen the inhales and the exhales. Finding some movements through the fingers and the toes. And allow that movement to get bigger through the wrists and the ankles. Taking a lovely big full body stretch before bending the knees and rolling to the right side. Pausing here for a moment just to find space for gratitude. And then when you're ready, making your way up to sit. Day 7, you've made it through 7 days. I hope you have enjoyed these practices and that you have been able to get to know your body maybe on a bit of a deeper level. Bringing the palms together in front of the heart. Thank you for joining me this last week. Have a lovely rest of your day and I will see you next time. Namaste.